In this video, we're going to talk about how you can be stupid, inexperienced, and totally unqualified and still make a ton of money in high ticket sales. So I engage with tons of people all the time that are trying to get a high ticket closer job, appointment setter jobs, and they all think the same thing. Oh, well, I don't have enough experience. I'm not qualified. I can't get the good jobs. And none of this is as important as the other things we're going to talk about in this video. And I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of internet business owners by this point. And the things I'm going to tell you about are the things that almost all of them do and look for when they're hiring a high ticket salesperson. It doesn't have to do anything with experience or being qualified. So we're going to go over each one. Now, the first thing to remember before I get into the list, when you're trying to get a high ticket sales job, is that this is just a job. At its core, that is what this is. And there are tons and tons of extremely stupid people who make a lot of money in high paying jobs. So high ticket sales gets like lumped in with all the other make money online opportunities, right? The drop shipping, coaching businesses, affiliate marketing, TikTok shop, agency services. But high ticket sales is a job and all these other things are a business. These are completely different things. So just remove the make money online label from this and realize that if you can get an entry level sales job in real life, you can do the same with this. You can make way more money doing this. So the first thing that business owners are looking for, and I put this at number one so that more people in the video would see it because it's that important and it makes that big of a difference. When you apply to a high ticket sales job, there's going to be a job description and information on how you should apply. There will be instructions on how you need to fill out this application and submit it. So an example of this would be when you submit this application, make sure you attach your resume, or please submit a Loom video and make sure it's between 60 and 90 seconds long. Very simple things like this. And these instructions are where more people than you would even realize get disqualified immediately, and you're about to see where I'm going with this. And I'll give you an actual real example. Sometime early last year, I was putting some salespeople into a business owner's business, and he was also going through a ton of applications because he posted the job on like ZipRecruiter or something, which is a bad idea. And he got like 50 applications, right? So he's going through all these applications. And in the instructions, he was like, make sure you attach a resume. It was very clearly like in bold written out. And almost 25 out of 50 people didn't attach a resume. Almost half. Almost 50% of people, when you do this, you are immediately disqualified. Like they couldn't even do this one simple thing, okay? Like, and another example, like when I mentioned the Loom videos earlier, the instructions will say, make sure that the Loom video is between 60 to 90 seconds long. Give me a quick introduction of yourself. Make sure it's this time limit, whatever. And people will just send them like a 20-second video, or like a 4 to 5 minute video just rambling on about nothing that's related to this at all. And I've tried to figure out why people do this. Like, are they stupid? Do they ignore it on purpose? I have not figured this out. But the sad truth is that a large percentage of people watching this video are doing this. That's just what the numbers say, and they wonder why they have no success. You know, all of these things that you see people saying, oh, high ticket sales, that's hard, or it's a scam or whatever. Running an online business, that's hard, it's a scam, whatever. I've never had a problem doing either of these things. Yes, it takes time and work, but it's honestly very simple to achieve these things. It's not hard, it just takes time and work. And these types of behaviors are changeable. Like you can change and make better decisions and choices, so just do it. All of these little things matter. If someone puts on a job application, attach a resume, and you don't do it, this is like simple stuff a 5-year-old could do. And this is where they're disqualifying you. Not because they looked at well, there's not a resume in this case, but not because they looked at your resume and they're like, oh, they don't have the experience. They're not doing that. They're seeing these things that like 50% of the population are doing, and they're like, y'all are all out. You're disqualified. So if you cannot even read an entire page of words and follow instructions, how do you expect to ever make large amounts of money or for someone to want to hire you for a really legit coveted job that other people want? You know what I'm saying? And the whole point of pointing this out is that many people get disqualified immediately. And if you can just make it past that large group of people, you are already on your way. It is literally that bad. And a lot of people that come to me and tell me they've been applying to jobs or they've been getting no responses through outreach, I find out later that they were botching all these tiny little things. They had no self-awareness, and then we fixed those things and they started to get responses and interviews and success. So it's all changeable. Now, the next one is one thing that people don't think about either, and that is your ease of communication. So when a hiring person or a business owner wants to reach out to you, how quickly do you respond? If you are sending multiple messages back and forth with this person, how easy is it for them to communicate with you? Are you replying immediately? Are you making it easy and efficient for them to communicate with you? And a bad example of this would be lots of people will get a message, let's say it's in the afternoon of a weekday, and then they just won't even reply until like the next day. Like they'll wait like almost 24 hours. You need to reply immediately. If someone in my program or just anyone I do business with texts me in the middle of the night and it wakes me up, I respond within like 3 seconds. I always respond immediately. Waiting a day, you are done, especially if you ever get into business. People don't like that in business. I can promise you that. So you need to respond immediately. If you really wanted this job, why are you not responding? Don't you want to get a high-paying, legitimate job? What are you doing? When they reach out, just reply promptly, immediately. Go back and forth with them right then. And if you don't, they're probably going to be annoyed and disqualify you. All of these things, again, matter and these are the things making a bigger difference than you think. I know these things sound simple and dumb, but this is where they're getting annoyed. This is where they're disqualifying people. It's not the experience, it's not your qualifications, it's none of this stuff. So if you're one of these people that takes way too long to respond, you're like, oh, I'll reply to this email tomorrow. Why are you taking your sweet ass time? Do you want this or not? What is going on? And more on the ease of communication. Communicating digitally is never going to be as efficient as doing it in person, right? Face to face. So here's an example of what I mean. Let's say a hiring manager reaches out to you through email and you're giving him like these really super short replies through email, and you end up with like a 20 email long chain. Oh my God, that is time wasting. Why are you not giving them more information and less emails? This whole back and forth is annoying. And it's stuff like this where, like I said, people have no self-awareness and they just don't see that they are the problem. So just make communicating with you easy, especially in this world of digital communication. When waiting for replies to emails or texts is annoying and it's time wasting, you just need to be on it. If you just fix this one thing and you respond more promptly to interview requests or messages, it will make a difference, I promise. And again, these things I'm talking about might seem simple and stupid, but a large percentage of people applying to these jobs are doing this and they're just getting immediately axed. They are done. Most people are so focused on the experience, am I qualified, when in reality it's these things that business owners are seeing and just disqualifying you for. This stuff matters more. And I'm telling you, as someone who's been doing this and works with other business owners and does hiring, it's not the resume. It's not your experience that's getting you disqualified. It's this stuff. So if at this point in the video, you're like, oh, well, I'm not one of those people, great. You should be feeling pretty good. You have a huge advantage just because you know how to properly communicate and follow instructions. Like, don't discount what I'm saying. This is the state of America these days. Half of the people that are doing anything are just, they're out. They're NGMI, bro. They're not gonna make it. They're not even checked in anymore. They checked out a long time ago. So half of your competition in anything and maybe more just doesn't exist anymore. Now, next thing they're looking for is availability. So what's an example of availability? If a hiring manager or a business owner reaches out to you and he says something like, hey, I'd like to jump on a 15-minute intro call with you to meet you and just see if we want to move on to a longer form interview, something like this, because this is somewhat common. And then you respond to that message, you say, oh, I'd love to, but I'm in the Rocky Mountains for the next 2 weeks with my family. Could we do it after I get back in 2 weeks? What? What are you talking about? Why? What are you doing for 2 weeks that's so busy you can't even jump on a 15-minute phone call? This is a lack of self-awareness. Again, just step outside, Now, it is understandable if you're like, oh, well, tomorrow's Sunday, it's the weekend, could we do it on Monday, have some family stuff? For sure, no problem. But 2 weeks, you're disqualified immediately. Or sometimes people will say, oh, well, I work a full-time 9 to 5. It'll have to be on the weekend. Like I have no time for the next 5 days. Just step outside for 15 minutes or for half an hour. Do it on your lunch break, whatever. When I was working my tech sales job and I was starting to take interviews for high ticket stuff, I was leaving in the middle of software demos. Like a guy would message me, I'd have my notifications on, I'd get the message, and he'd be like, hey, can you get on a call right now? And I'd be like, fuck yeah, I can. And I would just step out immediately. I would leave the demo. I do not care. I will clean up the mess when I get back because I wanted this, right? I was not going to pass up an opportunity. If I had said no, I know up here they're just going to move on to the next person, all because I couldn't make the time and show him that I wanted it, right? So if you're like, oh, I can't talk for 2, you don't really want this, or you have an extreme lack of self-awareness. If you need 2 weeks to get on a call, you do not want this, or your self-awareness is very poor, and the business owner knows that, and they're never going to talk to you again. Next thing you're going to look at is, and this one might be a shocker, is are you presentable? So what is your appearance? Now, let's clarify this. What do I mean by this? When you show up to the Zoom interview or the Google Meet interview, whatever they're doing it on, are you in a quiet environment? Are you ready to go and engage? When I showed up to these things, I'd have a pen and paper, whether I needed one or not. The business owner will see that and it looks good, right? It makes you look good. Or another scenario, is there like music playing in the background, a bunch of people around you, and you've got like a hoodie on that's like pulled over your head and you look like you just woke up. You're walking around like not even paying attention to them or something. I have gotten on more interviews than I can count where people show up like the second scenario. And I'm just so blown away by the fact that they're doing this that I'm just speechless and I just hang up. I'm like, nope, done. I don't even say anything. It's just that crazy. Again, like I said, this is most people that you're competing with to get these jobs. So if you just show up and you are presentable and you are engaged and you're just not dressed like terribly or something, you speak well, you're cordial, right? All of these things are important if you want to get hired. And I know at this point in the video, you're probably like, well, we haven't even gotten to the things that you think are important to getting one of these jobs. But all the things that I'm talking about so far are the things that I see happen the most often every single day that are breaking people's chances to get jobs. This is what is disqualifying people. It's not the resume. It's not your experience, okay? So think about it this way, and this might make it easier. People only hire people that they like, right? Think about it for a second. If they don't like you, why would they hire you? This is what it comes down to at the core. People only hire people that they like. So it doesn't matter if you've got 10, 15 years of high ticket sales experience and you've closed over 50 to $100 million in revenue. If they don't like you, you're fucking out. That's the real world. That's any job, especially in the internet world, right? Now, I'm not going to go too deep into interview tips and stuff and all those details because I have multiple videos on that already and I will be updating those interview videos soon. This video is just strictly, I made this video because everyone I talk to, like 100% of the time, they're worried about, I don't have experience, I'm not qualified, so I haven't been doing any outreach because I feel like I'm not qualified or I can't do it or I don't have experience. And it's like, bro, none of this matters. This is not what's gonna keep you from getting the job. It's everything I'm talking about in this video. This is what the business owner cares about. So this video is being made from the perspective of the business owner and what he cares about when he's hiring. If you think about everything from their perspective, everything becomes very clear on what you need to do. So interview tips and how you should conduct an interview will be in other videos and some updated ones are coming soon. Now, the last thing that they are looking for, and this is where like a lot of big final decisions get made on whether they want to hire you or not. From speaking with tons of business owners, hiring people, and doing this myself, I can tell you this is the thing. It's your attitude. Do you seem enjoyable to work with? Do they like you or not? And I kind of already just mentioned this. But if you seem like you'd be annoying as hell to work with, and they're going to have to see you or talk to you multiple times a day, they probably don't want to do that. Or do you seem like you'd be enjoyable to work with and a really good part of the team? Then they are highly likely to overlook all the other stuff and hire you all because of that one reason. And I'll put it to you this way. Every top performing closer I've ever met had a good attitude. Like, what a shocker, right? Now, just to clarify, that doesn't mean you need to be Mr. Extroverted. Far from it. It just means that you take this seriously and you take being part of a team seriously when you show up to work. People enjoy working around you, even if that's remote. And you're never late to meetings. You're always prepared. You're always looking to help out other closers where you can. You like the job. You like showing up every day. You've got a pleasant attitude. This is what I mean. Things like this are crucial when you're especially in sales and when you're working with other people, even like I said, if that's remote and over a computer. Now, if you made it through all these things, which is so easy to do, a child can do it, then you are just highly likely to get hired or at least added to their database of salespeople where they will contact you in the future to get a role. It's really not that hard. Getting hired is all about these things because these are the things that the people who are in charge of hiring actually care about the most. People are going to tell you that getting hired for a good job today is so much harder than previous generations had it, and I can tell you that is complete and utter bullshit lie. Why? Because most people are doing the absolutely ridiculous, dumb stuff that I talked about in this video. Like 50% of people are doing these things. They can't even fill out job descriptions properly. And these are like educated, well-spoken people in sales, you know? People are just I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Something's different. Something in the water, brother. People just lack any type of self-awareness. I personally think it's phones and social media, but I can't prove that, you know? It's just so easy for you to succeed these days. All you need to do is stay consistent until you get that good opportunity. But competition? No, that is not the case. Now, sure, to wrap up the point I'm making, experience can matter for some jobs more than others. Of course, that's going to be the case. Some aren't going to care at all, though. But I can guarantee you that 100% of business owners that I've ever met and ever worked with on hiring cared about the things I spoke about in this video. 100% of them care about this stuff, not on who is more experienced or more qualified. So if you're any of these things I mentioned in the video, just make a change. It's just a choice, you know? And then, like I said, if you've got all these things locked down, then you just need to keep your head down and keep going, and you will eventually get hired by somebody legitimate. Every business owner is looking for sales reps like you. All you need to do is stay consistent. That's the end of the video. If you want my help getting a closer job or a setter job, go to the links in the description. Until next time.